Alright, welcome on back, faithful. Tutorial time again. Apologies that I didn't get a video up last week. I was out of town seeing some friends from Chicago. So now that I'm back in town, I gotta make up for lost time. So hopefully we will have 2 tutorial videos up this week, as well as one more Ask the Chief. We're gonna tackle some pretty solid questions. Not that they haven't all been solid, but you know what I mean. Or at least you will when you see the video. Okay, more to the point, we are still working on our torso piece. This is the Spartan Mark 6 from Halo 4. Last time around, we worked on this upper section here. Now we're going to work on this lower back section here. The video after this is going to show how we attach these two pieces together, as well as the jetpacks, as well as this middle upper support here. But as I said, for the time being, we're going to tackle this one right here. Now, I have been working out each build for a piece like this where I have 2 identical sides. Typically I'll build one and then I'll just do a mirror of the other so I can show you guys. So this is the first one I've done here. This goes for, I guess, around the back left side here. We're going to build the one that goes around the right side now. You can see this whole shape here. The entire design of this is built with what I like to call kinetic tension, which means the pieces themselves, only one of these is actually heat treated. Everything else uses the piece next to it to pull itself into shape. So it's got this kinetic tension built up overall throughout the entire thing. It adds a really cool look, especially with these curved sections there. This dip in here, and then more curving right through there. So you can kind of see the shape we're going for here. We're about to build this exact same thing. Okay, first off though, this piece here, which is going to be this. It's like this whole back section from here to there. You'll see there's a split right here inside these pieces. Don't cut that split, okay? Leave that piece as wide as it is there, but draw the line right over the top there. Cut it all as one big piece. You don't need that split there. Also, take it, lay it down on the table, trace that slightly angled shape out there, trace it all the way to the point, draw lines straight down and then over, because we need a piece that looks like this here, and that's going to be this small spot here. It isn't called out inside the actual instructions or inside the Pepicora file at all. Otherwise, you end up with a gap there. We're going to fill that gap. So the gap fits exactly the shape of that piece there. Okay, so that one, tackle that. Next up, if you have this piece here, we're going to actually cut this piece in 2 separate areas here. Largely because if you put this piece down on a piece of foam, you've just blown like a quarter section of your sheet of foam. You put 2 of these next together, there's half your sheet of foam gone. And there's so much empty space there that can be filled. So this is going to save you some foam and save you a little bit of hassle in the long run. This whole shape here gets wrapped around just about the entire edge of this piece. That whole thing, even to the front here and then up to there, right there. So instead of trying to lay it down all like walking it all the way around and then curving it to the end and curving it back up, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to mark it here where you see the dotted line is, and that dotted line there. For the front part here, you're going to do a curved cut. So if I can draw on here what it's going to look like, you're going to curve the front like this. Oh my gosh, my pen's dying. You'll do a slight curve like that, and then this one here, you're just going to pretty much cut straight through. So the piece you'll end up with, you'll have one like this, like that. This is our other little top piece that goes there. This. And then here is our final piece there. You can see there's the entire shape like that. So before you even cut these pieces out, before you even trace this down, mark that shape with that half curve there. So you can start from the dotted line up here to the dotted line there, curve it out, and then cut that one straight through. That way when you lay this thing out, you'll have just that much to contend with. You can lay those out really easily next to each other. Okay, so do that. Get these pieces cut. For anybody who's following me along or who does not know where to find the files, inside the description below this video, you can find all the files I've used for this suit of armor, as well as a link to Pretzel's Locker, which has a ton of other Halo armor files. If you are building along with me right now, I recommend getting all your pieces cut and then walking along step by step. This is a full-out tutorial. This is not a speed build, so expect to be in this for the long haul. I'm looking at about 2 hours tonight on this video here. We'll see if we can beat that time. Maybe we'll crush it by 20 minutes. Who knows? Okay, so looking at this one here, we're gonna go ahead and start with, we're gonna start with this shape here, okay? This would be this little piece here. We're gonna start with this one first. Now all these pieces I have gone ahead and I have pre-trimmed and pre-cut. The majority of them are going to have what I call a edge cut. So you can see a 45-degree angle has been cut and trimmed back on here. That makes it so that, say I had another edge cut piece like this, I could merge these two seams, boom, right together and make the seam as pretty as possible without having to bend it down on a squared off piece of foam. It helps the seams come together a whole lot easier. Another cut here is what I call a trench cut or a V cut, where you mark a single line down the inside back portion of your foam. You cut in at an angle, 45 degrees again, an eighth of an inch past the line you've drawn and an eighth of an inch past the line you've drawn on the other side. You cut in again at another 45-degree angle. You pull that whole V out, and that leaves you with an area like this where you can fold it in. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check the previous videos I've done. I showed this cut over and over and over. There's also a video specified just for foam cutting, so take a look at that. All right, so anyway, back to this piece here. The only piece we're going to heat at all on this entire shape that we're building right now is the middle section here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And we'll go ahead and heat it from the back. I'm heating on top of wood here, that way I don't melt the finish on my table. And simple heat gun here. Let's get it going. For those of you returning to these build videos, again, I do apologize that it's been a little bit since the last build, but we're hoping to get this suit completely fully finished and all tutorialed up before the end of the year. So please hang with me. You see what I'm doing here? I'm just pressing from behind with my thumbs and I'm curving it just slightly. But what I'm doing is I'm pulling the curve farther than I think I'm going to need it. So with this foam here, it's going to try and resist you. It'll try and kind of flex itself back out. Pull it further than you think you will need. So I'm gonna let that sit there. Okay. Got my curve there. Now with this particular piece, I'm going to show you all the places I trimmed it. Leave this top here, leave it as is. Leave both those sides as normal. Leave this side here normal. Leave this side here normal. The top though of this piece here, you're going to edge cut that. So 45 degrees there is edge cut. Leave the back fine. The back of the small one though, it gets an edge cut. Here, here, and then here as well. That little protruding section, as well as this piece here. There's an edge cut there as well. So again, that's a 45-degree cut. I'll show you real quick what that looks like. Goes really easily. Say I want to edge cut this section here. Take your blade like this, put it at the very top of the piece, and pull it back. Just like this, at a 45-degree angle. You'll do this probably 3 to 4 times. And then pull that piece off there, leaving a nice crisp edge. So that's an edge cut there. So anyway, as I said, you've got edge cut here, edge cut there, edge cut here, there, and then on this upper piece here, there's an edge cut right there, and then on the very end of it, there's another edge cut here. Now, as for the V cuts, you're doing a V cut for where this comes together here, and a V cut down the entire length of the rest of that piece there, so we can fold it in. So what we will do first, we're going to go ahead and we are going to fold this piece down and attach it here. So you're going to pull this corner to that corner edge there first, stick that corner, and we're going to press the shape up and in and walk it into place. I use Loctite 5-second super glue. It is the best stuff out there for building this kind of suit of armor, especially working with EVA foam. It adheres incredibly quickly, dries even faster. So do a real thin bead, just a little bit. A little bit of this goes a long, long way. I'm going to do about 1 inch there. And again, going right to the tip of that right here. Once it makes contact, tip it up a little bit like this here. That way that entire upper seam is making full contact, kind of folding in on itself. I cut these little smoothie pieces here, which I use to then smooth the glue out. That applies the glue liberally to both sides of that little cut line there. And it kind of bridges the gap between both pieces of foam, almost like a little shell, so that that seam won't pop anymore. So once that glue I can bend down, you can see that seam's not going to pop. Okay, Now I'm just going to put some more glue in here and press the rest of this shape into here so it's nice and seamless. And the beauty of working with Loctite super glue is, unlike with hot glue, Loctite will really afford you an almost seamless build. I've had numerous comments on the most recent suit of armor that I did, and the main one that I got was how clean the overall look of it was. And that was because I used this smoothing technique here that I'm showing you right now to smooth the glue into those seams. But also what I'm doing right here, I'm folding it up and I'm holding that into place against itself to bridge that little cut gap there. So when I fold this down, it holds the seam nice and crisp. Now it may pop back out if I'm applying too much pressure on it, but this Loctite stuff will seal it right back up. You just gotta play with it. Okay, now we're going to pull this. I guess you can see how I've done this here. I pulled this upper piece here across and over to attach to this section here. You can kind of see where it's going to have to go. Just where that little edge starts to curve there, you'll pull it over and you can see where it'll stick. It'll fit right into there. Also, if you don't know quite where you're going to put it, take this piece here, because this is the piece that attaches to the section here. That whole bottom piece there will go onto this. So if you want, you can attach this one first, and we might as well just go ahead and do that so that we have an idea of where we're going. Now with this one here, you're going to have that same edge cut that I showed you on the inside there. So this whole inside piece here, edge cut that side there, edge cut this side here. Leave the bottom fine, leave this little nub there fine, and leave that one just as is. You're just doing an edge here, edge there, and edge there. That's it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and attach this now then. Okay. I'll probably be able to hit the entire thing here. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on this side here because it's the smaller of these two pieces. So put the glue on the piece that is the smaller surface area. It really helps out because then you don't end up with too much extra glue just wasted and getting all over your hands. Which it's going to do because it is Loctite, so expect to get this stuff on your fingers. I find that if you have either Pledge or Dawn, it helps to cut through it the easiest. So get yourself a bottle of that if you're having trouble getting this off. Also, sometimes a pumice stone might be required, but I do digress that this glue is the best stuff to build with. You can see right there, merge that seam. Now I know right where this bad boy here has to stop. Now if I want to right now, because you can see on this one here, that those two edges go right together, top to bottom, side to side, exactly together. And that's why I did that little edge cut on the top of this one here. So if I want to, I can put these two pieces together first and then concern myself with filling the rest of the gap in. So we'll do that. You can see it's going to be taller there, which means we're going to crush that shape down to fit in there. So when I talk about kinetic tension, it's going to round the shape, or at least help with the facilitation of the shape rounding. So we'll do a little bit right on the smaller piece here, right on that edge. And real quick, big shout outs to John Hines, who finished an incredible suit. I know I did a shout out for him in the most recent. You see how I'm attaching that right there? Pressing it right together. And I kind of pushed that shape in, kind of fought that foam. Anyway, John Hines did an incredible build for his son over Halloween. And I put some photos up on my fan page, so please make sure and check those out. Also, alright, hey, leave it alone. Don't you put it in my camera. Ah! Sorry, we have a kitten. Another guy, Frank Mina, also did an incredible build off the videos that I put up online. He even went a little bit further, and he made the torso actually off the photos that I posted of my build. So good on you, Frank, for that one. But also, if you check my fan page, you can find those photos there as well. Okay, so we've got this section here attached. We haven't glued this little area though. The reason for that is now we can actually use this trench cut that I made there, and we're going to bend this whole shape in. And it's going to start to really round out the piece. So we've cut that trench there for a reason, because we want to merge this side of it to that side. So we're going to put a little bit of glue and then stick this whole thing like that. Really press it in. And as I've said in previous videos, ordinarily I would go back through after each seam you've done. You want to reinforce it with hot glue. Reason for that being is while this Loctite is incredibly strong, it can still come apart if it's torqued on too hard. But when Loctite comes apart, instead of it just splitting really easily at the seam like hot glue might, Loctite, because it's bonded with your foam, will actually rip the foam. So it'll tear a chunk out of the foam itself instead of just breaking evenly. So putting some hot glue helps to prevent that. Also, putting hot glue on the inside of this, not only does it reinforce it, but if you were to do this entire suit out of hot glue for all the seams, occasionally if you step out into the sun too long with a suit of armor on, the sun can remelt that hot glue and make your seams pop, which we don't want to happen. So using the Loctite on the outside pretty much ensures that it's not going to happen. Okay, as you can see, I pressed that in there. I just pressed it in, held for a little bit. The glue will kind of bubble up. We want that glue to bubble because we want to smooth the excess out like I'm doing right here. And we're going to walk this all the way down. So up here at the front, we'll hit that one first, and then we'll press the middle in. So again, a little bit of glue right here. Just like that. Fold the sucker in. And give it a quick little smooth. And I just cut little wedge kind of shapes here. Usually whatever scraps I've got left, I'll cut up, 6, 7, 8 of these here, and I'll use it just for this, smoothing out the foam. And all right. That's looking awesome already. I'll show you real quick. I know I do this probably every video. I know I say I'm not going to, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to show you how to do a quick trench cut here. I always draw a line to know where I want to go. So say I want a 1/4 inch trench cut. You can kind of eyeball this here. You're going to go, take the blade, put it in 1/8 of an inch past that mark there at a 45-degree angle. Pulling back, you might have to pull it 2 to 3 times. I'm going to say probably twice. You're going to cut about halfway down into the foam. This foam is almost 1/2 inch thick, closer to 3/8 though. So you're going halfway in, again, 1/8 of an inch past. All right, leave it alone. See how I did that there? Pull that little V out. Leaves you with your trench cut there. So you can fold this in on itself. There we are. Okay, so now you know how to do a trench cut. All right, so back to this here. We're gonna go ahead and actually, before we do the bottom there, we're gonna fold the top in here as well too. So we're gonna fold all these in on themselves. So again, a little bit of glue on the seam here. You've really only got to hold this Loctite for honestly about 3 seconds before it holds, but we'll give it the full 5 seconds it requires while we smooth this out. Again, the reason why I love using Loctite is because it does form a molecular bond with the materials that you're using. And being that we're working with foam, the porous nature of the foam itself disperses it within the walls of the foam really quickly. Occasionally, if you use too much Loctite, you might see the foam smoke for a second, and you'll watch the seam actually go and almost seal up like it's been welded. It's pretty cool to see. But with that, it does release a gas, so don't get it in your eyes because your eyes will burn. Okay, little nubby here. We're just going to pull it out a little ways, put that glue right on the edge of this side here, and then stick this down. So push it out a little bit with your thumb. Right. And pull it back a little ways like this, and you see how I'm turning it? Pull it back and turn it, and then press back in. And you can see the way it does it right there. That makes that seam come together really, really seamlessly. Like, I mean, I know you can still see the seam there, but it marries that edge so well. And once this has plasti dip on it, it's really hard to even tell that it's 2 pieces. It will look very similar to, or very much like one piece. Okay, so you can see it's already taking shape, and the only thing that we've even heated is that one piece right there. That's it. So a little bit of glue on the inside here. Press this in and hold. We'll do the same thing down for the bottom part there. So hold this so you can see it here. Little bead right there. Little bead right here. Some awesome news in the area of cosplay. My wife actually went to Anime Blast Chattanooga over this past weekend, where she took first place in the novice category for the cosplay contest, and she went as Weiss from Ruby. So any of my Ruby fans out there, be sure and check out the Facebook fan page and the YouTube page, Avarice Rose Cosplay, and you can see the photos that she's posted up from the competition there. She did an incredible job, so please check her out.
You should do a how-to
Weiss's sword? Oh, maybe. I might get to that. Okay, so now we've got still that little window right there. The way we're going to do this, though, is this top edge there, I want to match that edge right there. So you're going to have to kind of turn this piece a little bit, and you're going to put glue on just the edge there, and we're going to press that in. And we're going to, what's the word here? We're going to press it in, and we're going to have to kind of torque down on this foam here. You will have a little bit of a gap on either side, so what we can do before that is we can put a little bit on this, I guess this bottom edge right there. And so you figure if we want this top corner edge here to land smack with that corner there, the way the foam will look is it'll be kind of a gradation going up here. It looks almost like a wedge shape now. So we can do that and press this in here before we do the top there, just to give it a little bit more of a rounded shape. So we will go ahead then and put the glue on this edge here. So I'm going to pull this out a little ways. I'm going to run it down the entire length of this thing here, because I believe in myself. Okay, I'm going to the top corner there first. So I'm going to stick that corner down first. See how I'm doing this here? And then press in. You want that shape to stick out. See how it's kind of sticking out a little ways from the side? You want that shape to be like that. You can see the glue itself has bubbled out. Smooth it on in. Clean those seams up. And again, as I said, typically I would go back through here and I would hit all of these seams with hot glue. So bear that in mind if you're building this along with me. Take the time to put some hot glue inside there. This is an open shape, which means you can get all the way back inside there even after the build is over. But if you have a closed shape like a helmet, where it's sometimes hard to get the gun up inside there, make sure you're reinforcing as you go, because sometimes it is a pain to try and get back into a piece once you put it all together. So we'll do the same thing on this side now. A little bit of glue along this edge. So pull it out a little ways, right along that ridge there, just like that. And top corner to that corner there. So find the corner first, press it in, and then commit to it. You see how it kind of is still protruding off the side? We want that to stick off the side there. Adds kind of a cool look to the side of the armor, and I believe this is supposed to be like a locking section on Master Chief's suit of armor. So it gives the simulation of this lock, or at least a raised section of his armor. Okay, so now with this here, we're going to, like as I said, pull this back, a little bit of glue there, and then we're going to torque this piece down and press it into the very top edge of this front little rounded piece there. So pull it out a little ways, a little bit of glue all along that. Okay. Now when it comes to marking pieces, or when it comes to actually like trimming or edge cutting, you can see how I'm kind of torquing out of this here. When it comes to trimming or edge cutting a piece or doing a V-cut, I will mark every piece that I need to cut. Typically, if it's an edge I need to cut, I'll mark a little T right on that edge. So if it's, I might have like a T here, and a T there. That way I know which one's going to be trimmed. If it's on the back, I will draw out beforehand all the V-cuts that I need. And the best practice when building your suit of armor is try and build in pairs. If you're building one of the forearms, don't just build a forearm and then build a thigh and then build a codpiece and then build another forearm. Build both forearms at once, because it'll be fresh in your mind. And if you messed one up and it's the wrong size, you won't have to wait till you get back through building the thigh and the codpiece to find out, oh shoot, both of these suck. So build them in a pair if you can. As to how do you know whether it is the right size or not, unfortunately, there's no real easy way for me to tell you how to do that. The best way that I know how to do is to print off a section of the armor, like I've done here. You print off a piece of it onto cardstock. And if it's the calf piece, if you're using Peppercore Designer, you can line up several of the pieces so that they are together. Hold it up to your shin. See if it fits the length of your shin. If it doesn't, you may have to increase it. If it does, you're probably okay. If it doesn't, you may have to even shrink it. It depends on your body size. But you're going to have to be hands-on with it. And you may end up building, I'm going to do a little bit of glue right into the seam here, and I'm going to press this in. You may end up building one or two pieces a couple times. You know, I built, the first time I tried Peppercore, I had to build 3 cod pieces before I got it right. Same thing with foam. I built 3 before I finally figured out my size. Just kind of a hazard of the trade, but it's so worth it when you finally hit it right. And happy accident for me, my wife is about a foot shorter than I am, so a lot of the pieces that I messed up on, they fit her really well. So either find a short person if you got a cousin or a brother or a younger sister that can fit the armor, donate it to them. You can see I just filled the rest of that seam in there. You can see how this shape is already curving. That's that kinetic tension. That's just the piece working with all the other pieces in conjunction. Once they're attached properly, they pull themselves into shape, which is the beauty of working with foam. Excuse me. Okay. Next little section that we are going to tackle is... Okay. You have a piece that looks like this here. This little piece here is going to go on the inside of this here. Okay. So it's going to fit... Oh man, I'm going to try and show you this here. You're going to go ahead and put the top in first, and then you're going to kind of bend the shape out and walk it all the way down this little curve of that piece here. Now you'll see with this one here, I haven't cut any of these edges. If I can show you on this one here. Again, that's totally squared off all the way around. None of these edges are trimmed. The only edge that is trimmed is the inside of this one. Reason for that is, if you can see on this here, we don't want this little piece here to bend so extremely in, because this section here is wide enough where it's going to attach to the upper section of our back. So if it's bent in too far, it's going to make attaching that a little bit tougher. Plus, if it's curved just like that, it'll sit really easily under the back portion of our arm here. So, as I said, it's not trimmed. We're going to take this here, put a little bit of glue on the inside part of this here, and we want this corner has to be able to match up with that corner here. So instead of walking the glue all the way down, I'm going to stick this corner up here first, then the bottom corner, and then I will press the foam into shape there to make sure that I don't accidentally glue it down past where I need it. So a little bit right on the top edge, about an inch worth of glue. Like this here, right to the corner, press it in, and again folding up just a little bit. We can hold it here and smooth that glue in. And you'll get a few smooth outs with your smoother piece before the edges of it get kind of blown. So, like I said, cut several of these. Alright, that's good there. Okay, now the bottom section here. So we'll do it on this piece here since we're attaching. Get another inch worth. You're going right down to where this piece here stopped. So find the edge, find the little corner where it needs to go. Stick it in place. Press that shape, and then again fold up a little ways. Fold it. Smooth the rest of that in. There we are. Just like that. Now we're going to put some glue on, I'm going to put some on the entire inside edge there, and I'm going to press this shape in. A little bit all down that. And boom, there we are. Okay. And this one, once you have it pressed in, again, folding up just a little bit. We don't want to go so hard that we break the seam where we've already attached it. So just holding up a little bit on there, smooth that glue into place. Make sure it connects, just like that. Okay, and then when you fold it down, it will. You can see what it's doing right here already. It's going to pull that shape forward just slightly. When the front piece is finally attached to it, it'll pull the rest of the shape into place. Okay, so now for that front piece, as I showed you before, where we marked off on this piece here, that little front curvy piece here, that's the piece that I've cut off of here. So we have this little piece that goes to it, and then we have this one. Now ordinarily that whole shape would wrap around, it would wrap like all the way from here around the front and then all the way down. It's really awkward doing it with foam because that was designed for Pepakura originally. So trying to make those bends and those folds with foam without cutting it is damn near impossible. This is going to save you some time. Okay, so the piece that we cut from the very front, that little curvy section there, that piece, much like this one here, is not going to be trimmed at all. You're not trimming any of those edges. Leave those all just nice squared off edges. Okay, so this here is going to fit right in there just like that, nice and snug, okay? You can see again, for this piece here, that is way wider than this little piece here. So we're going to have to press this in to make contact with that edge. Doing so is going to help to round it even further. So we'll go ahead and attach the front part of this to here first, and then the back. So a little bit right here. And go edge to edge. See what I'm doing? Press and hold for a second. Let that glue make contact. Bend it out again like I showed you. And smooth that in. Just like that there. Really appreciate you guys' support in the videos and stuff that I've been doing. I really love to do this stuff. It's a great passion of mine to be creative, and the fact that I can help people out in making their suits of armor is big for me. So thank you guys again for your support. For those of you who don't know, I am Angel Legend, aka Eric Rolon. Okay, so now for this section here, as I said, we're going to press this in a little bit. Let's see how I did it on my other one here. I'm going to press this in to show you what it looks like. If you want to, you can just glue it right as is, like right to there, and then trim this here. But I don't think we need to. I think we can actually press it in and make it work. So we'll put glue on the smaller of the two pieces. Okay. And then put it right into the bottom corner first, and then press the foam down and in. See something right here? Squish it all the way down so it makes contact with that little piece there. Okay? Now the foam's going to try and fight you here. So you got to fight it right back. Okay. So now I haven't attached the bottom portion there yet, so it's going to pull away. You'll see it here in a second. You see how it pulls away there? Now I'll put glue all down this bottom edge, and I'm going to walk this shape on down. So we'll do the first half of it. So pull it away a little ways like that. Little gap. Nice thing about EVA foam is it's flexible, so you can pull on it a little bit. Not too much, obviously, but you can pull just enough to make this work. Okay, so bending it up again. Smooth that glue out. Just like that. This piece is done. This is your first time, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue inside there, seam that up. But if this is your first time trying to build a suit of armor, I am going to recommend not starting with the torso, purely because the torso is a tough build. It took me probably 5 days total to build the first one that I did of this particular armor set. You see I'm crushing that into there, just pressing it in, letting that glue hold. It took me 5 days to do, and that was me just kind of sitting and figuring out, okay, how do these pieces attach? What cuts need to be made? What pieces can I eliminate altogether? What ones can I modify? So hopefully I'm saving you some time right now in doing this. But again, as I said, it is a complicated build piece here. There are a lot of parts to this here that you will see a lot of like cuts and a lot of bends and a lot of shaping done to it that you will find in the other pieces. So I would suggest starting with the biceps first, then moving on to the shoulders, and then to the calves. And then from there, it's pretty much wherever you want to go from there, because those three pieces there have enough of what's going on inside the torso here that by the time you get back to the torso, you'll have a way more solid grasp of how to work with EVA foam. So that's my suggestion. You don't got to do it. If you want to start with the torso, by all means, start with the torso. You can start with the helmet if you want to. If you're like me, you like going for the most complicated build first, just kind of give yourself, so just put some glue on the back there, on the inside, and I'm just pressing this in, just so that piece holds nice and in there. If you're like me, you like going for the toughest challenge first, and using that as kind of your marker for how long you think it'll take for the rest of the build. Totally up to you. Whatever you want to do with this. There's really no right or wrong way to do it, so long as you're having fun and you're enjoying the results. Okay, so I press that piece in there. Same thing with this one here. Pull it away a little bit like that. Get some glue in that trench, and then press it on in. So I'm just going to lean it out a little bit here. A little bit of glue right down that seam. Boom, just like that. Fold it in, press and hold. And what's really nice about gluing that section right there is because that's such a full flat piece, and I'm putting it onto an edge cut area there. As I said before, the foam, how it's got all the little pores inside of it, fully flat face going in, it merges so well. Like it's already good and tight down there. I'm gonna do a little bit up here at the front. So just a little bit there. A little more than what I think I need there, and I'm gonna smooth that in. So there we are. Okay. So we're probably almost a little more than halfway done. So we're chugging right along, actually. Faster than I thought we would. Okay. Now, as for, let's see, this little piece here, which is the remainder, it's the middle section here that we cut out. It's the remainder of this whole shape there. Bless you.
Thank you.
This little piece here is going to end up fitting onto the front here. I don't remember how I put this on. Okay, and roundy side down. Is it roundy side? No, it's like this. There it is. Okay. So, let's see here. Yes, that's right. Okay. This whole piece here, with the exception of the front edge, which will be facing out this way, every other edge, I guess front edge and then the bottom edge, every other one of these edges is getting edge cut. So the back middle there, edge cut that. The upper portion there, edge cut that. Leave this one normal flat and leave this part here normal and flat as well. Okay. So we're going to see how that's kind of got this little opening spot there. Take this here and we're going to glue right to that, and then we're going to bend the shape down and we're going to fill this whole section there. So since this is the same size piece there as the one that I'm going to be gluing to, we'll just put the glue where I'm holding right on the upper edge there. Take this here, you're going corner to corner first. So that front corner first, pull it back, hit that back corner right there. Press and hold just like that. Now this one, because of how hard we're going to torque on it, it may pop on you once or twice, so just be aware of that. If you want to, you can put a little bit more glue. There's like one dot here, just for a little bit of extra support, and smooth that on in there. And smoothing the glue also helps it dry quicker as well. That's why I do it. Okay, so I don't think it's going anywhere. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. So now you can see the bottom edge there. That little corner right here is going right to this corner there. You can see it a little better. I'm holding it there. We're gonna go right all the way down where that rounded edge is. So I'm gonna put it right on this part here. I'm gonna do about 1/2 inch. So a little bead right here, right on down to there. Okay, corner to corner. So pull it out and press it back in on itself. And then we're walking that shape, kind of folding it around, making sure that the entire edge is hit. Oh, we got a really good seam on that one, actually. That's like perfect, just about. And now, the section I'm doing here, it's where the buckle, I'm going to show you how to put buckles inside here, but that's where your buckle will be kind of coming together. And your arm will be sitting over top of this largely, so a lot of people won't see this, but you'll know it's there, and it'll look a whole lot more aesthetically pleasing if you do it this way. But again, whatever way you want to do it. You don't even need that piece if you don't want it. You can leave it off entirely and run the buckle straight out from the inside there. Whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so a little gap here. We're just going to fill the rest of that in, attach it. So do a little bit here. Right on down. And it's going to try and fight you, so you got to really press in hard on it. So turn it in. Walk that whole shape in. And you're going to get some glue on your fingers here. Just handle it if you do. And I believe, I want to say that there's a link in the description of this video to the Loctite page where I buy my glue. If you don't live in the United States and you can't get a hold of it at a store, you can order it from their website. Loctite 5-second professional super glue. Typically one of these bottles here, I can get 3 pieces done with one of these bottles. The chest piece though, the entire torso took me about 1.5 bottles. So just be aware of that. You may need more for the chest. A little bit of glue on the back here. I'm going to press that seam, which is edge cut. I'm going to fold it in so this rounds out a little bit. So just a little bit of glue here, a little bead, just like that. Fold it in. Someone asked me the other day about how long this build will take. Now, being that I was doing all these tutorial videos the first time I did this build, and I was doing that in line with leading up to a KaiCon, which we went to and had an amazing time at, that whole building process took me 3 months. Now, if you take out all the time that I would have put making these videos and showing all the steps in the process, this whole suit of armor can be done in 4 weeks. Now, that means that you're putting in between 4 to 6 hours during like weekdays, and then maybe doing like an extra 5 on like a Saturday. Like you're working hard on it. It's almost like it becomes like a full-time job at that point, but it can be done in a month. So if you do have a rush, you know, if it's October 1st and you're wanting to start your Halloween costume and you realize, oh shoot, I've only got a month to get this done, it can be done, but it will tax you, just so you're aware. So hopefully with these videos, I'm saving you the time of having to figure these pieces out on your own. Okay, so that whole front part there is done. You can see again, the shape just continues to take form. And we've only heat treated that one little piece. So sometimes the heat gun isn't even necessary. Who'd have thunk it? Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead with this back piece here. Now, this is the one that I told you is going to be attaching to this section here. That's why we cut that little piece and we saved it. This little piece right there, that's going to be what bridges the gap between these two pieces here when they finally do come together. Okay. But now if you can see here, that whole piece, that little kind of curvy piece here is going to get walked all down that entire shape there. So this whole thing is going to have to fit itself right here. Now, if I want to, I can heat this up a little bit and give it a little bit more pressing in, a little bit more of a bending down, but I don't think I need to. We're just going to try and walk this shape all the way on down and let the foam itself pull itself into place. It's not quite extreme enough of a bend for me to be worried about it popping itself back open. On occasion, you'll want to heat treat the piece to take the tension off of it because sometimes there's a fold that's really wrapped hard around, and if you just bend it and stick it, it's going to pop itself apart anyway. But this one, I don't think we'll need to. Okay. So now, okay. We are going to go. Alright, leave it alone. Don't make me blast you. Go. Alright. Now that the kitty is dispensed with. Okay, we're going to go this edge here, right to that corner here. So again, corner to corner. And then once we get to here, we're going to walk the entire thing following this curve up and in there. You'll see how it's done right there, how it bends over. Doing the same thing. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this upper edge here first. I'm going to go ahead and hit the whole edge because it is a flat edge. I'll try and hit the entire edge if it's a flat edge like that. It's just easier to do. Right here, corner to corner. So put that corner in and stick it. Just like that. Here we go. I'm going to bend it up a little ways because this whole thing will be folded in even further on itself. So I really, really do not want this edge to pop. So I put a bit more glue on there than I would normally do. So I'm smoothing out a whole lot more over more surface area. Okay, so just like that. Now, I'm going to turn it in here, and I'm going to kind of figure out where I need the shape to be. Okay, now with this one here, I should be able to walk this down pretty easily. So I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm actually going to walk the shape down. I'm going to do about halfway, then the other half, just in case I have to pull the foam into place, which does on occasion happen. Okay, so about halfway down the foam, turn it in. Press it all the way halfway down. Haru, leave it alone. Haru. Kitty's under the table. We have a 3-month-old kitten, and he has just figured out that everything is a toy, apparently. The refrigerator, toilet paper roll, my ankles. Yeah, I don't know why. He likes to watch the water. He likes to watch the flushing water in the toilet. Just a little stranger, but you know, we still love him. Okay, so that piece there is good. Lined up perfect. Pop this out a little bit of glue there. So I think we're actually gonna beat my estimated time for this year by a long shot. Man. That's what pre-prepping pieces does. That's pre-prepping. That's what prepping pieces does for you. Prep the pieces beforehand, which is why I say build in pairs. So if I was building both these at the same time and I did all the cuts I pre-cut all these pieces before, I would turn around and do the same thing on the other side if I knew that it was going to be sized right. Now, being that this is the torso and I know it's sized for my wife, one side is symmetrical to the other side there, with the exception of the center back and the center front. So figure you're building two of these. So if you're going to pre-cut one, pre-cut the other. Okay, so that edge there is good. Merge that glue down and in. Okay, when you go on the back side here, put a little bit of glue on the inside seam there, press it in, and turn. So just a little bit here. Press it in and hold, just like that. Now I'm not going to go too crazy with the hold. I'm just going to press it in just enough to kind of get me where I want to be. And as you can see with this one here, see how that shape is there? We need that shape to still be open just a little bit because we have to fit our attachment piece that goes to the upper section. So I'm just pushing in just a little bit, just enough to make sure that seam's not going anywhere. Okay. Now as for the bottom of this, you can see on this one here, we do have a little bit of a jutting section there, kind of like with this piece right here. This piece kind of juts off the side and gives you this really cool edge there, here, and there. So when you're looking at the bottom portion of this here, you're going to pull it out pretty much right to that corner right there. You're just going to let that corner sit just like that. But before we even get there, we're going to go ahead and take, where to go? We're going to take this little piece here, a little curvy little slender piece here, and we're going to take this and we're going to put it right inside here to begin with. Okay, now with this piece here, I have not trimmed it. Okay, I've done zero trimming onto that yet, but I may need to do just a tiny little bit of an edge cut. Let me see how this is going to look here. I may or may not. Let's see. May crush in there just easy enough. You know what? And I don't think I will. We're going to leave this piece as is. Okay? So I'm going to glue this side first. And I'm going to do the corner upper part here first. Right there. Again, guys, my name is Angel Legend. I live for this stuff. I really do. If you haven't yet, please smash that like button and smash that subscribe button. I love all my fans. You guys are amazing. It is so awesome when I get a chance to meet you at conventions and such. It really it makes me feel awesome about what I do when I get to hear people on the Facebook forums and the prop pages say that they got some help from Angel Legend in building their suit. Like, it makes me feel awesome. So please, if you guys have photos of things that you're working on and I somehow inspired, please, I want to see them. Post them to the fan page if you would. Walking this shape down. Yeah, again, I love seeing the progress. John Hines and excuse me, Mark. Oh my goodness, what is his name? Mark. Oh no, I have to look his name up now. Anyway, John Hines is a prime example. He built an incredible composite suit for his son. He's got bits of Iron Man inside there and bits of Master Chief inside there. Really, really awesome stuff there. And he sent me the photos and I can put them up on the page and they look amazing. So please be sure to do that if you have. Okay. With that bottom edge there, we're going that edge to this edge here. Kind of like before, you can see it just barely has like a, I guess like a gradation to it going up like that. So do the same kind of thing here. We're going to put it down there first, figure out where it's going to sit, and then press the whole thing in. Just squish it. Okay. Not Mark. Frank. Frank is his name. Frank Mina, another one who built an incredible suit and posted the photos to the fan page, and I've got him up there still, so please go and check him out. Frank Mina. There we go, got it. Okay, so corner to corner, right down there at the very bottom edge. Figure out right about where you want it to sit. And then press that in and hold. Pretty solid hold there. Beautiful. And you can see we get that glue to kind of bubble along that edge. So take your thin piece of your smoother piece there, the thin side of it I should say. Really press that glue in there. Ooh yeah, ooh, it's looking good already. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the inside here just so it doesn't pop, because it's only barely on that upper front edge there. And again, I come back through here at the end of this whole thing, and I'm gonna end up reinforcing it with some hot glue as well. Where's my glue? Here we are. Occasionally you can get the front of your super glue bottle pretty gummed up, so keep like a paper towel on hand so you can clear that. Okay. All right, we're almost done. Okay. Where am I here? Okay, so you have kind of an awkward piece here. It looks like a boot. It's a little bit like Italy. You know, like this kind of like slender woman's leg here. This piece is going to be attached at the bottom here. You can see that little angled area. That part that is screwed. Hey, hard, leave it alone. Go, 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 go. You might have just totally moved the camera, so hopefully I'm still on camera here for you. But that part before that I showed you, which it does have an edge cut on. This side here does not have an edge cut. Leave that side flat. However, on the inside here, this top edge there, you're going to edge cut that. We're going to make a V cut so that can fold in on itself, okay? Just like that. Only trimming that's done on this piece here, okay? It's just that one edge and then the V there. Everything else, leave it a nice flat edge, just like you see like that, okay? So what we're gonna do first is we are going to, make sure I'm doing this on the right side. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stick this part into here first. So we'll do the bottom and then, oh, I'm about to sneeze, oh no. Yeah, we'll do the bottom first and then we'll pull it up and tuck it in there. So right along this edge here. Go corner to corner, just like that. Fold the edge up. There he goes. Back to chewing on my cord again. All right, you're getting blasted. Go, go, kitty, go, go, go. Oh man, I'm gonna be out of water before this video's over. All right, there we are. Fold it up a little ways like that. Smooth that glue out. Get a beautiful seam just like that. Okay. Now before I tuck that edge into here, remember how we did that V cut there? I'm gonna fold this down and I'm actually gonna make sure that that stays nice and tight because I want it to curve just slightly. So we'll make this, that little glue attachment there, a little bit, fold it in on itself, make sure that it sticks. Okay. Shouldn't take long for it. Already good. All right, so now you're going to kind of have to pull it back out and then turn it. Just a little bit. You're just gonna see what I'm doing right here? Just turning it so it fits right in there, that edge. So it's pretty easy little maneuver there. A little bit of glue. Oh, that's a lot of glue. Dang. Well, it's okay. I got it. There we go. Okay. Got some glue bubbling over the edge there, which is perfect. Smooth that in. Boom, 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 boom. Now you can apply any of these cutting techniques or any of these gluing techniques to any kind of EVA foam that you're working on. Like, it transfers all really, really well and really, really easily. I recommend coming up with your own techniques. You know, use a heat knife if you got one, or Dremel. Dremel on foam works really well. Okay, oh, here's my. Okay, so now you'll see if I try and bend this down here, it doesn't quite line up with that piece right there. So we're gonna have to pull this over and make sure that it sits right on that edge. I showed you before, you can see that edge sticks up a little ways. We're not going to go right, like very corner to corner. we're going to come up about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch into the shape here, just so it has some tooth to it and bites into this bottom lip. So we'll go ahead and attach the glue. We'll put it on the blocky part here first, since we're going to be pulling the smaller one into place. We don't want to get too much glue on our fingers. So you can see where I'm putting the glue right there, like that. This whole piece that we folded down beforehand, and pull to the corner first. So pull it over, stick the corner, and then press the rest of the shape in, just like that. Real easy. Once it holds, smooth it in. There we are, just like that. Okay. As for the rest of the shape here, this little piece here, it just gets pressed. You can walk it straight down to there. Like, there's really like nothing crazy I'm gonna tell you to do with this here. If you want to, kind of mark it off. It'll end up sitting about an inch from the bottom there. I don't think you'll need to, but you can see the way the curve follows there. That piece will get pressed in. On the inside of it, though, I didn't point this out before. The inside of this edge piece here, that is all getting completely edge cut there. There is a small V cut being made on the inside of this piece here. So be aware that you're making a small V cut there. And then on the bottom here is going to be a V cut. You can see right there at the very bottom, I left about an inch of it. That isn't. That's so you can fit this right into here. I should have made mention of that before, and I apologize for not doing so. On this entire piece here, the parts that are going to get an edge treatment is this upper edge, from this corner all the way down to that corner, getting an edge cut. So take that edge out, leave this one flat, leave that side flat, and then leave yourself 1 inch of it flat there. On the inside here again, you're doing an edge cut right to there. Leave this little fin here totally flat on that side. Edge cut it all down this side here, and then leave the bottom of it flat. Again, apologies I didn't point that out earlier. Hopefully, if you're following along right now, you've already watched the video once through before to know what you're getting into. So, be aware of that. Okay, so again, gluing. We'll do corner to corner first. So I'm going to do it right on the edge here, upper edge. Right into there, like that. Tuck it in. See how I do that right there? Tuck it right on up into that little nook there. The glue is bubbling out quite a bit, so smooth it on down. And now, the way I'm building this, guys, this is the easiest way that I figured out how to build it. You may find a more optimal way for yourself. If you don't want to do the edge cuts or the corner cuts or the groove cuts like I do, you don't have to, but I found that it makes the suit come together the easiest overall. So, again, if you find a better way, do it your way. This is just one of, I'm sure, several different ways how to do this. Okay, for this one here, just going to press it out a little ways right there. Little glue on that little ridge. And then we'll pull this up. Kind of tip it up like that. Try and fold it, I guess, fold it, kind of wing it out like we've done before. So it makes full contact if you can. It may not want to hold itself there. It did, good. Okay, and smooth her out. Alright. Now for the inside of this one here, since we did edge cut the inside of that piece, we edge cut right along this edge here. We're going to want to put a little bit of glue right down that trench there and press this in just a little bit, because that is going to pull the shape in a little bit further, which we want this kind of dip right in there. So put a little bit of glue right on the inside here, just a little line of it, and then press it in. So just get a nice firm push like that. There we are. Nice. Okay. Smooth that glue in there. Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna sneeze again. Don't sneeze. Ooh, okay, got it. Alright. Now as for the rest of the shape here. Let's see if I can show you where this lands here. Okay, so for this little piece here that I said looks kind of like a little boot here, that whole thing ends up fitting up this side here. You see it's kind of awkward the way it fits inside there. And it's got this little awkward turn there. The reason it's got that little awkward turn off to that side is because when it gets pulled in, it kind of rounds just slightly like that, which you can see in this piece here, ends up kicking this part out just a little bit, gives you this little rounded little nub there. I'm not quite sure, but it looks good. So, what we'll do first is take it like this, do that flat edge right to the top here. Okay, remember this part here is totally edge trimmed. This is not. That is a flat piece going against edge trim. And the reason for that is because it will get kind of bent in on itself. So we'll go corner to corner, just like that. Down here. And pull it down. There we are. I've still been getting a lot of questions on where's the helmet, where's the rest of the chest. I promise you guys, it is coming. You'll have to bear with me over the next little bit. As my wife and I are stepping into a couple new jobs, which are pretty exciting. So hopefully it will free up some more time for me to work on this on a more consistent basis, which I'm excited about. Okay, now I'll show you on this one here. This little piece here is going to be kind of weird, and where you attach it is kind of up to you, but I'm going to show you what I thought looked best for it. Okay, you can see this piece here. I've walked it nice and seamlessly down here. Then when it gets to the bottom, I kind of went away from the side there, left that jutting edge on this piece out a little bit. You can see how it kind of goes from like nothing to everything all at once there, and almost like a wedge shape of how it leaves there. We're going to do the same thing on this here. We're going to walk it all the way on down. When we get to the bottom, we're going to hit just that bottom corner there and leave that kind of jutting piece all the way around. Okay. This is what I said, it's going to make this little bubbly little loop there. So, put a little bit of glue. Hopefully you can see this here. Right there. And then press that shape on it. You will have to turn it just to make good contact with it there. There we go. See how I'm doing it there? Smooth this in. Nice. Looking good. Okay. That bottom little corner edge that we haven't attached yet, we'll go ahead and do that now. So put a little bit of glue right there. Press it down and pull this up. Just like that. Boom. Doing a little bit of reinforcing on this little itty bitty bottom seam there. And we'll smooth this all over it. There we go. Perfect. Right. Okay, very nice. You see how I'm gonna do this here? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit this entire edge here now with some glue, and I'm gonna press it right into this shape. I'm gonna force it into place there. So we'll do this whole half round edge right there. Glue. Now I may get this all over my fingers. Just be aware of that. You may get it all over your fingers too. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm pressing all the way up and in. I get to that top corner. Press it up and into that top corner to give me that little kind of wedge shape there. And that should be almost perfect. Nice, I think it is actually. Beautiful. Oh yeah, it's a nice edge. Actually, I'm gonna pull it so I've got more of a flat. I'm gonna leave that little itty bitty gap there. I'm gonna fill that with some hot glue, actually. That way I get more of a flat edge here. Alright, leave it alone. There we go. And I will do just a tiny bit of hot glue, as I just said. If you're going to do some hot glue, do a low heat glue gun. Or if it has a multi-setting function, run your gun on low heat, because high heat is going to stay liquid for way longer, and it's not going to dry nearly as quickly, and it is a pain having to sit in whole pieces and go just to try and get it cool enough so you can attach the next one. So go low heat. And I typically will fill my seams like this, and I'll use the iron part of the glue gun to smooth the rest of that glue into place. So as I said before, I like having clean seams. Okay, I'll do a little bit on the inside too, just a little bit there. That should be good. Perfect. Okay. Wow, that's going to take a second here. You can see this little detail piece right here. It's very similar to, if you've been following any of the other builds, how what I consider like the locking parts of the pieces. So I did that out of just a small little foamy piece of material. You can find these at Walmart or Michael's. Pretty much any craft store will carry these, and they carry them in big stacks like that. I believe Walmart has them in like stacks of 60 for like $3, if even. They're great for building, and that is about a 1/16 of an inch. They also do come in 1/8 inch pieces and in 1/4 inch pieces. And there's a link in the description below if you're trying to find some of the bigger sheets. Okay, but anyway, there's a little detail piece. I love adding the details to these pieces here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that one right now. When it comes to adding this kind of pieces here, I'll mark off where I want to stick it. So kind of hold it right where you need it. Little ballpoint pen works the best on foam here. I don't typically use Sharpies anymore. I used to use Sharpies for the longest time, but I found the foam will kind of suck the color out of the Sharpie, and after a while it stops working. So I just use a ballpoint pen because it stays working a whole lot longer. Okay, get the glue on the perimeter of your little detail piece first. So all the way down the edges, like this here. And I'll do kind of like strokes across it to fill in the little gaps. You're going to get one shot with this because there's enough glue in here to really hold it firmly. You can see, just stick it right where your little marked edges are. Once you got it set, press it down. And that'll go real fast. Foamy sheets really attach quickly, so just be aware of that. In the edge. Alright, nice. Alright, our blue seam there is good. Alright, we're almost done. This is the final piece. Okay, so I'm going to show you it here. You can see here, this piece here is this section all the way down and around to the front here. So that's that whole piece there, okay? This whole thing. If you look at this here, the inside is totally, I left it the flat cut, so I didn't trim that at all. Don't trim that little front piece there. Don't trim this back piece here. However, on the outer part of the curve here, you're going to trim this entire thing. So give it an edge cut all down that here. I do have marked off dotted lines here. Typically, if you see dotted lines, it means the piece is being folded down. If you see a dot dash, it means it's being folded up. You're not going to have to cut a V into the back of this at all, because this entire shape is thin enough to where it can just be bent right into the place that you need it to be. So, we'll go ahead and start with the upper section here first. And we're just going to walk this on down. So if you kind of see, you can see where it's going to hit. This upper section, if you hold it here loosely, you can see it's going to wrap around the bottom here, and then it's going to fold itself on over to the edge here, and it'll fit. So if you want to, like me, what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to do about 2 inches up here at the top, go down here to the bottom, stick that section there, and then press the rest of this into place here. That way I don't walk it too far and have it sticking past my 1/2 inch. That way I know that I've got my end and my end already covered. And then the rest is just going to be building out the rounded shape. So, let's do about 2 inches here. Right on that edge. Remember, you're gluing the outer part of the curve. So, right on the corner. Get it stuck first. Let it give it a second to adhere, and then press all the way down. So we got that set, just like that. Okay. And this smoother is blown, so grab the new one, smooth that in. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Oh, nice. See that fold there? Perfect fold. Okay. Back to the front here. Corner there to corner here. Again, I'm going to do 2 inches. So you can see this here. 2 inches there. And I'm sure if any of you have been following this particular armor set from the beginning, I have since upgraded to a much better camera, so hopefully you're able to see this detail quite a bit better. Maybe even zoom in on some pieces. Oh, there he is. Haru's coming to say hi. Yes, Haru, thank you for tearing up my jeans. I feel your little nails. You're awesome. You want to say hi? Huh? You want to say hi? Right, come here. Come say hi. Oh boy, it's Haru. Woo! Haru the kitten. Yes, our little black tuxedo cat. Oh, what? What is it? Huh? What do you see? Alright, that's enough. Go play. Go play. Come on, go play. Okay. Anyway, so there's the bottom there attached. We're going to walk this all the way down now. So let's see here. We got a good way to show you this. Okay, here we go. You can kind of see that little kind of corner jut right there. All right, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Go on. See that corner kind of juts a little bit? If you look at this piece here, you'll see how there are certain little corner edge parts here. I try and round my cuts off a little bit when I cut them, but if you do happen to cut it really planar like this here, you'll see little angled off spots there. Look for those. That's kind of your guide mark here. So you figure that little corner spot there is going to end up hitting this corner spot right here. So that's what your target's going to be for the back end of the shape. So we can go ahead and start then walking this down, and just keep that in mind that we're hoping to line up that little corner spot there with this little corner spot here. So we're just going to keep feeding glue to this and pressing the shape into place. Now the reason this little, you may look at this ribbony piece and think that it's not necessary because the rest of the shape is pretty much there. However, this little ribbony piece, believe it or not, adds so much structural integrity to the back end of this torso, and it's actually probably one of the spots on this torso, if not the spot that you want to be the strongest, because it is where your back connecting up into your I guess like your armpit area. That's where it's going to be hitting, so it needs to be really strong in case you lean against anything or you sit down. It's got to be able to flex with you, so you want that whole spot to be really tough. So we'll smooth this out there, like that. Keep walking it in. And I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'll be doing another build video this week as well. The next one will be focused on the front part of the torso, but more to the point, it'll be focused on the side front parts. We're going to save the middle of it probably for last. So we'll be doing the, I guess the front, I guess like the pec region. We'll be doing, I believe, the right pec in the next video. Also, keep an eye out for Ask the Chief. If you guys have any comments or any questions for the Chief, please pop in one of those videos or even on this video here and fire away with your questions. Just be sure to hashtag them Ask the Chief. And I will do my best to answer all questions that come my way to the best of my ability. Okay. Just going to continue to walk this shape one down. I'm going to go ahead and start from this side here, and we're going to meet this one at the end. Okay. A little bit more glue here. And I hope for any of you that is starting your very first build, please do not be deterred by how complex this looks. It's really, really simple once you understand the fundamentals of working with the foam. You find new and inventive ways to do things, and I'll kind of surprise myself every single time I'm building a new suit of armor. I'll end up doing something that what I thought was a mistake turns out to be just what the doctor ordered. So bear that in mind when you're doing this. You're going to make mistakes, but they may be happy accidents. You know, it may be something that ends up working out way better in the long run. So please do not let the complexity deter you from trying your first build if you've never tried to do a build before. Also, you may think, oh man, this must cost so much money. In all honesty, to build a suit of armor like this, paint and all, now this is going to be minus the glue gun, so we'll throw the glue gun, or sorry, the heat gun let's see, heat gun included, you should be able to build an entire suit of armor, paint and all, for right around $140. Okay, the heat gun that I have here is just a cheap Wagner one. It's about 25 bucks. I had somebody tell me that they saw a heat gun online for $200 on Amazon and that it was the only one that they could find. Don't buy that heat gun. Don't buy that heat gun at all. All you need is a low and a high setting. That's it. If you spend $200 on a heat gun, unless you're a commercial masonry worker and you need to be able to heat up concrete in certain areas while you're doing your mixing tints to fill bug holes, don't buy that heat gun. Buy a cheap one. But as I said, about 140 bucks, you can do the entire build. So maybe you gotta lay off buying yourself 2 games over the course of the next 6 months. Or Starbucks. Or whatever your guilty pleasure happens to be. And tuck a little bit of cash away. Get yourself started on a suit of armor. Find now that the presents I revere with highest regard on Christmas time are more often than not the gift cards to Home Depot, because you can go and buy EVA Foam from Home Depot if you don't elect to get it on eBay. Now, if you buy it from Home Depot or Lowe's, oftentimes they're going to come in packs of 4. However, if you buy them on eBay, oftentimes you'll find them in packs of 6 full sheets of EVA foam. So, if you decide to buy some foam for your build, you'll probably want to start with 2 full packs of foam, and that's to account for any piece you may have to build multiple times. But 2 full packs of foam should get you an entire suit of armor plus a weapon. So bear that in mind. Okay, so we got that entire thing all attached now. Now we're just going to put some glue on the inside here, press and hold, and this sucker's done. So run a little bead right on down the inside here, just like that. Press and hold it in. Again, as I said, guys and gals, I'm going to be doing the chest, or at least part of the right pec, inside the next video. And then after that, we'll have the lower portion of the chest. We'll have the... Actually, I may do the attachments for the back. We'll see what we get to, but I plan on doing the chest. We may save the attachments for the end. Excuse me. But it will be done, I promise you that. Again, just glue on these little inside bits here and press it in so it holds. And we're just walking this shape on down and in. Now, when it comes to this little rounded area here, I'm not going to press that section in because I don't want that to cave in on itself. I'll just end up filling that with some hot glue. But for about the first 4 inches here, I'm going to use Loctite. And then for about like the first, again, kind of 4 inches here, I'm going to use some Loctite there. So, nice and strong here. You can see I've got kind of the same thing going on right here. As I said, I just come back through with some hot glue now on all the insides of all these seams there and fill all those little nooks and crannies with some hot glue for some structural integrity here. Anyway, guys, that is the build. Get you another view of it here. That's how you want it to look. And these 2 pieces here, that'd be the back lower sections of our torso builds. They would sit around you kind of like this here. Actually, they probably sit more like this as they connect into the jetpack section. So, that is the build. And again, with that whole thing, all we heated was just that one little piece there. That's it, that one little rounded piece. Everything else is curved because of that tension running through it. So thank you guys so much for checking out this build. Again, I am Angel Legend, aka Eric Rolon, aka Spartan117. Be sure and smash that like button. Be sure and smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to be awesome. You guys take care and have an amazing day and an awesome rest of the week. See you guys.